Don't worry about it. All right, let's see. Oh shit.
If not,
Do you hear that? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still want to point you in the right direction so that you still know like what to do. How's
Okay.
that sound, brother?
Sounds good, bro.
Awesome, awesome, man. So what was the motivation for reaching out and booking a call with me today?
Honestly, I feel like I've just been, for the past 6 months, I've been pretty locked in like on a diet and training, and I've
Mhm.
lost a good amount of weight, but I feel like the next steps, it's kind of like confusing for me. Like I don't really know. I feel like I've kind of hit a wall. Like I feel like I've been in a deficit for the past 6 months. Um,
Okay.
and my strength definitely hasn't gone up. Like I feel like I haven't progressed in the weights and lifting more and just getting stronger.
Okay.
I came across like your videos like on Instagram or YouTube, and I
Yeah.
kind of liked your approach when you mentioned like the maintenance and actually building muscle. So that kind of resonated with me. So I just wanted to reach out because of that.
Awesome, brother. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like good stuff on like, you already making progress for like these past
Yeah.
6 months.
What are you writing down?
Um, it's more so that like confirmation that yeah, this funnel works like from Instagram, yeah, to YouTube. But I sort of use that as a crutch when I'm sort of like thinking of my next question as well.
My advice would be don't worry about your funnel when you're on a sales call. If you're on a sales call, the guy's there, the funnel's done its job, right? Like when I'm on a sales call, I'm not there to worry about the fucking funnel.
Nah, no, you're right, you're right.
Like all you should be focused on is how can I get cash out of this guy? Because like you could be booking a million calls and you could say your funnel works, but if you ain't making any money, bro, guess what? Your funnel's fucking shit.
Nah,
So
you're right.
like the biggest thing is just focus on the call when you're in the call. Because it's very easy to get distracted and focus on the wrong things or focus on other stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
So
for
just
sure.
stay dialed on the call and what he's saying, because he said a lot of things, right? So he started with, oh, everything's going well, I'm getting there, I'm making progress. Then it said, but I really need your help, I'm stuck. Which one is it, right? Because you can't have both of those things. You can't say I'm right on track, I'm getting to where I need to be, but I'm stuck. So we need to get clarity around what is his actual situation. Are you stuck or are you not?
Mm, okay, yeah, that makes
That's what
sense.
I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Those two things can't coexist. So I want to identify which one's real and which one he's just saying.
Hmm. I think I'll go into that right after here, actually. Yeah.
Okay, but you should have went into it straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And when you say like when you've hit a wall and like you're struggling to make more progress, like what do you sort of mean by that?
I think so. So in September last year, I
Hmm.
decided to do a
So a better question there is you say, okay, and just so I get this straight, because it's not making a huge amount of sense. You said that things are going well, you're making progress and you're getting to where you need to be, but you've hit a wall. When did you hit that wall?
Okay.
Oh, I hit that wall a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Okay, but what does hitting the wall even mean? Like, explain that to me now. Oh, it means that I stopped making progress. Okay, so we're not actually making progress. No, we're stuck. Okay, that's fine.
Ah, okay.
Because I want to eliminate this idea that he's still making progress.
Mm, okay, yeah.
Because think about it like this, right? If he's still making progress, why the fuck is he going to pay you?
Yeah.
Right? Like, sure, I'll come and pay you once I get stuck. But if in my head I'm still making progress, even though I'm not, I'm okay with that. Like, I'll set
Mm,
for making progress. You know?
yeah, yeah. I definitely could have handled that here because one of the objections was like he could just do it himself. And
Yeah,
so if I would have, yeah,
because he
yeah,
still has that belief. Like,
yeah, you're right.
belief stuff's crazy. Like, the stuff they say at the start of the call is the stuff they're going to say at the end. It's really fucking simple.
Yeah, you're right.
I know I'm right. That's why I'm here, son.
calorie deficit, and I've been doing that for six
Okay.
months, and then I just feel like now, and I've taken progress pictures, and I think for my body fat level, like I'm like 20.5%. I
Okay.
think my muscles are like really underdeveloped. Like I feel like if I continued cutting after this, I
Hmm.
would just look even more like skinnier, but just no muscle, like especially on a chest or that
Oh,
area.
sort of like skinny fat.
Basically skinny fat and just like very un muscles are just very underdeveloped.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
20.5.
So again, I'd say okay, and so you've had multiple opportunities to go back to it. And what I do here, like if I spawned in at this point of the call, is I just go back and I just go, just like I'm not really getting it right. You said you were making progress, but you don't have a lot of muscle developed. How have you made progress? Like what does your progress mean? because like he's just contradicting himself consistently. It's like, oh, I'm making progress, but I'm stuck. Oh, I'm making progress, but I have no muscle. So what the fuck progress he making? Like, I assume he means he's losing fat, right? But that's
Yeah.
an assumption. I don't actually know.
Mm.
So I want to get clarity around what is this guy actually talking about? Because until I understand what he's talking about, I'm kind of just shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
ever played Call of Duty with the TV off. You don't hit a lot. So
No.
you need to fucking have the clarity to see.
But I was definitely more on the fatter side when I first started than now. Like if you look
Okay.
at progress photos, you'll see like the difference.
Okay, so where did you start and like sort of where?
And that's amazing, man. And would you say now you're happy with the shape that you're in? No. Okay. Why not? Because again, what's he doing, right? He's justifying his progress. He's justifying the situation that he's in by saying, like, yeah, I don't have a lot of muscle, but you should have seen how fat I was. No, I don't give a fuck about that. Are you happy with the shape you're in now? No, I'm not. Why not? That's what matters, right? Is the previous situation you're in is kind of irrelevant. All I care about is the situation you're in sat in front of me today, because that's the one I'm going to help, right? I'm not going to help
So
the version of you who was fat 6 weeks ago. Like he's already gone.
yeah, yeah, right. So like just dig more into like the pain of the current situation, like of them on this call right now.
Because like the current situation and that pain is the one they can't get out of, right? If you focus too much on the past, what does that also believe? If he just thinks about how shit he felt when he was super fat, right? And now he also begins to think, well, I got my cell out of that, right? And this isn't quite as bad as that. I can probably get my cell out of this too.
Mm.
Especially when you ask him for 3, 4, 5,000 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Thinking, yeah, I can get out of this myself.
Mm. Yeah. Makes sense. You
right
just
now?
making notes.
When I first, I mean, I've been working out since high school, but never consistently. But
Okay.
so I moved here to London last September. So
Oh shit, nice.
that's kind of when I really locked in. And then I started then around like 84 kg.
hmm
Now I'm like 71.9 kg.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so it's kind of been like a slow deficit, but
Okay.
I've maintained like some muscle that I've lost some fat.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
And what is it that you sort of want to get down to?
Honestly, in terms of the actual number, I don't really have like a set.
Okay.
Really, it's just more like just I want to look at myself.
So I never ask them, like, what is the number? Because a number doesn't mean anything, right? Like the number doesn't matter. It's the feeling of being a certain body weight, of being in a certain shape, of looking a certain way. Like that's what they're buying. They aren't buying a weight. And sometimes what you get is like, say this guy had said like 75 kilos, right? You then become obsessive with this number of like, how would it feel to be 75 kilo? You might get a 75 and you might, still not look like what he wants to, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely see that on like the later part of this call where I sort of use 60 kilograms as a goal and I sort of focus too much on like the actual number itself.
It's a huge mistake that people make in fitness is to become obsessed with the number, but it's not the
Yeah.
number, it's the feeling of the number or
It's what
the,
the number represents.
yeah, it's the thoughts associated with that number in their mind. That's what actually makes them buy. It's not that
Okay.
they don't give a fuck about 60 kilos.
Yeah.
Like 60 kilos don't mean niche. It's the
Yeah.
stuff that comes with that actually matters.
And just see like the total change. Obviously, like a lower number, but I don't have like any specific set number in mind.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting what you said. You want to look at yourself and see, like your like sort of physique. So like
Yeah.
what's behind that?
I think I mean, my whole life, I feel like I've always put working out and especially dieting to the side. Like I never
Mm,
said, okay, I'm gonna lock in this time or this summer, but I never did.
mm.
And I just got so fed up, like with looking at myself.
Also, small thing, and this is gonna be super nitpicky. Every time they say something, you don't have to go, shut the fuck up, bro.
Oh, bro, that's such a bad habit I have. Even when I'm talking to you right now, I'm like,
Yeah, that would do my
Ah.
kids in if I was a prospect on a call. Don't do that.
ah. Okay.
Like just like sit there and just like nod or don't say anything. That one of the
Okay.
most powerful things you have as a sales rep is the skill to be able to sit in silence. Like when you watch calls of amazing closers, I'm talking guys making like 50, 60K a month. A lot of what they do is just sit in silence because silence is incredibly uncomfortable because it's just you and your thoughts. So for a prospect who's in a shit ton of pain, being in silence is the worst thing you can be in.
Okay.
So you want to use that skill and you want to really get good at just sitting in the fucking silence with them.
Self in the mirror, knowing that I could change, especially now that I'm young. Like I feel like there's no other time to do it. So
Mm.
yeah, I just kind of took the initiative. I just want to see actual physical change.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So like when you say that, you sort of
So I would push back there. He said, I could change. I'd be like, really? What makes you say that you could change? Oh, well, I'm young and I'm in shape. Yeah, but I mean, you've been young and in shape for how long? Well, young and able to get in shape for how long? Oh, like 6 years. Well, you haven't done anything, so why would you just do it now? Like
mm,
push back on that because that's a cop out answer, right? Of like, I know I could be in shape. Could you though?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because it's very easy to say I could be in shape, but could you actually? Probably not if you're not, right?
Yeah, so I need to be better at picking out sort of like uncertain words that they say, because I think I'm just focused on too much on like what should I ask next instead of like focusing exactly on what they're saying. Yeah,
Yeah, like you need to be so focused on what they're saying because there's only one person who what they say matters in a call, and that's the prospect. You could ask the
yeah,
best questions in the world, but if the prospect doesn't understand it and they give you a shit answer, their mindset ain't changing, their beliefs ain't changing, you're fucked.
mm.
So really focus in on what they're saying instead of worrying about your next question. Because like thinking of the next question takes 3 seconds.
I've been through your whole life, sort of like putting it off, putting it off. I've been in the exact same like loop of self-sabotage. Oh yeah, next Monday.
They don't care. They don't give a fuck about you, what you've done or your situation. Um, so
Is it more relevant because I speak about like this situation in like a lot of my videos as well, and obviously he resonates with that story. So I thought like if I
let me tell you, right? If he's already watched all your videos and seen that story, does he need to hear it again from you, or would you rather spend time talking about his story and his situation?
Yeah, yeah, you got me.
Right? So, like, if
Yeah,
you're the owner, like, that's why on my calls, I don't talk about anything. They already know. Like, when I sell for my own agency, I don't tell them anything about me. They already know if they watch my videos. So, what the fuck do I need to tell them? I'm just there to learn about them.
okay,
Like, when
yeah,
you're coming in with the authority, you just presume that they know. And you can,
okay.
if you want to still include it, you can say, as you would have seen in my videos, I come from a very similar background. And you can pre-frame the question and you can say something along the lines of, and obviously when I was in your situation, it wasn't that I could get in shape. It was actually that I thought I could, but really I couldn't because of my mindset. So looking back at where you are now, looking at where you are now, sorry, do you genuinely feel like you could get in shape without any extra help? No.
Right.
So you're lowering your because he's compared like you're comparing him to you, that version of you. So you can label that version of you with anything you want and force that label.
Mm,
Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah, that does. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Sorry, bro.
I'm gonna start, and then what do you know? Like fucking Monday comes around, and I just go back to the loop of like what I've always been, and then it'd always be like, okay, yeah, next Monday. So I'm just curious when you said that, like, what do you
Like, see how saying that just does nothing. Like, then we just go into our next question. Like, it's a wasted 40 seconds.
think sort of kept you in that loop? Like, what was the reason for like currently just putting it off every single time?
I think
So instead of, because like what we've done there is we've justified it by saying he's putting it off, right? Like, what is putting something off? That means that you are going to do it eventually. How do we know this guy's going to do it eventually?
We don't.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't give him that positive language of you're just putting something off.
Ah,
It's like,
okay,
why have you never got into shape? That's the language I want to use is why have you never taken action and gotten into shape? Not
okay,
why are you putting it off,
okay,
right?
yeah.
Like putting it off's like fucking taking your bin out, right? Eventually you're gonna fucking do it. There's no guarantee in life this guy gets in shape.
Mm, okay.
So you want to use different language for stuff like that.
just the amount. I always thought. I think the lack of knowledge, and also I always thought it would just take so much, not effort, but just so much time out of my like other duties in life, like
Hmm.
work and school.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just feel like I never, and I also back then I found it kind of like a hassle to go to the gym. Like I just wanted to get in there and get out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But now it's like something I look forward to doing and enjoy doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think has changed? Because like obviously, as you said,
Perfect question, but then you go and over explain it. Like, what's changed? That's all you need to say. That's it, right? Like, sales is a very simple game. The less you say, oftentimes the better it is.
okay, so you use less words,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
like that was a perfect question. What's changed? That's fine. You don't need to then explain your question.
Okay. You felt like it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and it does, take a lot of
Yeah.
time. Like it does take a shit ton of effort. So, what do you think has changed for you now, currently, that sort of makes you think that okay, now is the time for me to actually, commit to this effort, commit to this sort of time?
I think, I mean, just the progress I've made the past 6 months, that's
Okay.
kind of just even that small it's not a huge progress, but just seeing that small progress and change physically and also on the scale, it kind of pushed
Mm.
me to actually continue because before then I never really saw results because I never really committed myself like consistently.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So when you saw that, like you saw the results on the scale, like what did those results like do for you mentally as well?
I think, well, on the scale, honestly, here it was kind of confusing because they use KG and I'm from
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that didn't
yeah.
do much, but like just if I look at the progress photos, um, you could see like a huge, not a huge difference, but like a good loss of fat and
Okay,
more of my muscles defined.
okay,
Mentally, it just, I guess, like made me feel better about myself, like just more confident, and knowing that I could take this to another level.
okay, sure. Well, like the way that things are going, like you've made good progress in 6 months, right? So
Yeah.
like, what's
What makes you feel like you can take it to another level if you haven't already? And then he says, "Oh, well, I know that I could. Okay, but what do you need to do to take it to that next level? Oh, I need to get a coach. I need to get support. Why though? Oh, and then so what you're doing is you're selling him on what you do.
yeah.
So you want to get a tie down on what you do almost instantly.
I think I ask him right here, like, what's stopping you from doing that on your own? Like, getting to the place where you want to go.
Okay, that's a not bad
It,
question.
is that something? Okay, yeah. Stopping you from getting to that end goal, to that, I know in your form you said 60, around 60-ish kilograms. So what's sort of stopping you from getting to that point?
Here you go. Now you're bringing up the form because he never gave you the answer you wanted. Don't worry about the fucking form, right? The form's just something there to put a fucking blocker so that bullshit doesn't book on your calendar. Forget about the form. Just focus on what they tell you on the call.
Just on your own.
I don't know, like I've thought about it, like I've been debating, like I feel like I have a good kind of grasp, especially of I feel like I'm very disciplined with diet. Like
Hmm.
I've been eating the past months just the same thing every day, and I don't mind it honestly. Like
Okay.
it just works for me.
Okay.
But I still feel like I'm not fully knowledgeable, like in terms of what exercises specifically to choose, and if I need to change them, like after a couple weeks or just progressively overload on them. And also, a big thing for me before I really got serious about working out was like accountability. Like I feel like that's one of the
Mm.
major factors that kind of put it off to the side for me. Like I never had someone to look at my progress and really just be accountable for me.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah, no, that's a huge one for sure. So it sounds like, like your discipline, like,
Do you feel like if you never have anybody to hold you accountable, you'll ever get in the shape you want to? No. Okay. So what does it sound like we need to do? I need to get someone to hold me accountable.
yeah, that's the biggest thing that I've actually made notes on this call myself. It's like I never truly went into the bit of like, okay, what if you don't get coaching? Like the cost of inaction. What if you don't start to change stuff? where would you be then? That's the biggest thing I didn't go into.
Yeah, you really need to hold them down. Like you really need to
Mm,
tie them down to what you're doing and also like tie them down to getting to where they want to be. That's going to be the biggest thing. Oh my God, Mr. Lars Lewis in the house. What's happening, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm just about to launch my website in about an hour.
Bang! Bro's be launching the website. Well, good luck with that, brother.
Thank you.
you already like you've got the skills and like the traits of okay, like, you're eating the same thing every day, like you're going to the gym, but it's
Yeah.
sort of like you don't know where to channel it.
Yeah.
Like if that sort of makes sense.
So eat like you can still say that, but I'd word it differently, right? So I'd say so you're eating the same stuff and you're going to the gym every day. Why do you need someone to hold you accountable if you're doing the steps necessary? And then it starts to go, well, I don't do it every day.
Ah, I didn't even think of that.
Like if you want
Mm,
to go down that route, you want to use like, but if you're already doing everything, why the fuck do you need someone to hold you accountable? Because
yeah.
what's he then going to say? He's going to say, well, maybe I don't do it every day. And then he's going to admit the actual flaws in what's happening. Because if this guy was eating correctly every day, going to the gym when needed, bang on his nutrients, what the fuck does he need a coach for?
Yeah, true.
So, like, there's very obviously disparities there.
And obviously like the accountability is sort of like a huge thing as well. Like, you know,
Yeah.
just someone to like bounce feedback off of and be like, hey, I'm putting in effort and time into this. Am I doing it correctly? Is
Right.
that sort of what like,
No, exactly. Yeah. Because I mean, I know we all have like AI, ChatGPT, but like
yeah.
it's not really.
Mm.
You need to just get rid of that. You just say, yeah, of course, right? But that's not going to hold you accountable. That's not going to call you up when you don't do your daily check-in and give it to you, is it? No. Okay. You need real accountability. Would you agree? Yeah, I do. Okay. Fuck ChatGPT then. All right, like get rid of that bullshit. Get that away. Because even that being in the back of his head is a bad thing.
Yeah, you're right. And like to sort of branch
I
off that,
know, right? How many times I got to say I know, right? That's why
yeah,
I'm here, bro.
I go into like a mini rant after this about ChatGPT for like 30 seconds as well. So I think I should have just, yeah, you're right. Bro, if AI and ChatGPT worked for like actual accountability, probably the next stage of with your physique, right?
Yeah, like just don't bother with that. Okay, let's go into the objections here. But like the biggest thing with your discovery, right, is just calling out their language more and more active listening. Like it does feel like you're just following a framework or following a script, and that's just leading you down the wrong road.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
Amir, go for it, bro.
Yeah, like you mentioned, especially in the discovery to clarify every single instance, is it okay also to make them feel the future pace already?
You can do. I wouldn't go into it now personally. Like if you do it, it's not going to lose you the deal. But per se, I wouldn't go into it yet because there's still a lot about his current situation that we don't have a grasp of.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Easy, bro.
20,
32, 30.
1600 or 1500. So it's definitely.
awesome, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely good.
Awesome. Like, you know, being consistent, like you said, I'm going to give you all the resources based off of hours of my own like psychological research through the database to actually do this. And pretty much the best thing is that I'm going to be there with you every single step of the way. All that you would have to do is pretty much follow the roadmap.
When you pitch, never, ever, ever use the words pretty much.
Oh, no.
Why do you think?
Because, you know, I don't sound very confident that I'll be there like all the fucking time for him.
No, yeah, and everything. Imagine I was selling you a car and I was like, it pretty much runs, man. Pretty much will get you from A to B. You'd be like, pretty much? What do you mean, bro? Is it not going to get me there? I'll pretty much get you there, man.
Yeah, it's not 100%. It's not 100% commitment.
You really need to, like, using uncertain language, especially in your pitch, is a guaranteed way to make sales resistance and also to build uncertainty in the prospect.
Okay.
Like if you said if the doctor said if you had a surgery, right, and you're like, "Are we all ready for the surgery, doc?" He's like, "Pretty much, let's go." He'd be like, "What the fuck do you mean, pretty much, bro? Like, are we ready or are we not?" And it's the same thing, right? You're about asking for how much is your program?
2K.
So you're about asking for 2K, right? And you're hitting them with it, pretty much be there,
Pretty-
pretty much help you, pretty much give you everything you need. Like I ain't giving you 2K for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see why all of them objections came up.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's ahead of you. How does that sound, brother?
Sounds really good, man. Like it sounds very like detailed and insightful, and yeah, I do like your approach, like the high output model approach. I think actually that's a lot smarter than
Oh fuck.
Something like that.
oh yeah, definitely good. I think, I mean, these past months, yes, I've been in a deficit, and yeah, like right now, I do feel sort of depleted and not being able to progress in my strength and lifts. So I think the program, what specifically related was, I think just being able to, I mean, I think the maintenance phase is a really key thing that I think I never really thought of before. Like, sort of just actually building a foundation, even if you already have a foundation, just expanding on that and really maximizing strength gains, and then cutting and just increasing, whether it's like maybe steps or a cardio or yeah. I think that really resonated. I was just, one thing I was gonna ask you about was kind of like the timeline for like the maintenance phase. Do you think because you mentioned 8 to 12 weeks, right?
6 to 8 weeks.
Say weeks. Do you think,
Have you dropped the price yet? Yeah. No. Okay, cool.
No, so this is like sort of the temp check, and I'm just answering like a general question. If you want price drop, you should probably go to minute 39.
Yeah, minute 39. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
You mentioned that you need for your Transformers Fitness app. And this is the thing where I pretty much track like every single thing on your journey.
There you go again. I pretty much track everything in your fitness journey.
I gotta stop that.
So like your training split, your calories, your steps every single day, your body weight every single day. And this is how I sort of keep track of everything on your journey. And after we get that set up, then finally, that's when we can book in our onboarding call. So that's when I can just sort of like run you through exactly what you can expect for like each phase of the program, and exactly like, and this is what you need to execute for sort of access to every, or £3,000. We have two options. We can do £2,000 for 3 months or £3,000 for 6 months. Now, which
So instead of giving them both, because then it creates, well, I need to think about whether I want to do the 3 or the 6 months. So what I would ask him is, I'd say, so we have two options, right? We have the 3 months, which is for if you're not 100% certain that you want to lock in for that time, and you're not 100% certain that working together is going to get you there. Then we have the 6 month, which is my most popular. What that is 6 months of direct tailored support, working one-on-one with each other, that is guaranteed to get you to that goal of XYZ thing. Which one would you be more leaning towards? Would it be the 3 or the 6 month? The 6 month. Now, fuck the 3 months. I don't want to talk about the 6 months. So you make the 6 months sound way fucking better than the 3 months. You make that,
Yeah,
and then you just talk about the price of the 6 months.
yeah, that makes sense because he took some time to think about whether he actually wants to do the 3 or 6 month.
Of course, right? Because now you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you got to think about the program, you got to think about a ton of stuff.
yeah.
I'm going to make it a no-brainer to just go with the 6 months, and then I'm going to drop the price.
Okay.
And then if they can't afford that, I'll downsell them to the 3 months and say at the end of the 3 months, if you want to upgrade, we can do it for the difference, but we'll talk about that at the end of the 3 months.
Okay. Do you think I should do like those two options, or just drop the price for 6 months, and then if they can't, then downsell?
Now you say the two options and you say which one would you rather go with, but you don't give them the price, and then they say 6
Okay.
months. And you say, okay, so to lock us in for the 6 months, it's only going to be £3,000.
Okay.
What do you want to do there? And then you go.
Okay.
those options would work out better for you?
You said £2,000 for 3 months. Let me check.
Mm.
Say which one like 100% yet, but I would probably be leaning more towards the 3 month one. But like I need to check. I would need to check. Like I guess after this, I'll need to check and give you a more 100% confirmation which specific price point timeline.
Okay.
But I'll probably be leaning more towards the 3 month timeline.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that's 3 months for 2000.
What's making you lean towards the 3 months instead of the 6 months?
I was thinking of asking that question, but I just didn't for some reason.
That's great, bro. But I can't
Should've.
read your mind, so I can only say what
Yeah.
I see, bro.
Yeah.
Pounds. And is that something that you can get squared away on this call right here?
I'll probably need to check after. Like I can't.
So like instead of saying that, right? Because you're leaving it open to saying I can do it on this call. Instead, what you say, awesome. Do we want to lock in on the 3 months? Like you just assumptively close it instead of asking like, would that be okay to do today?
Okay, so you get the tie down for 3 months and then be like, okay, bang, let's pay it.
You want to lock that in? Yeah, sure. What do I need to do? Oh, awesome. We just need to get the investment sorted. Boom.
Okay.
Give you like 100% yes right now, but
Yeah.
definitely after, yeah, I could check with that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, for sure. Like, take all the time you need.
Yeah.
And like, just based off everything that we just been through. So like, you actually think that this can actually get you to that point, right?
100%.
Like where you're 60 kilograms leading.
So first thing I do is I get clarity. He's like, oh, I can get back to you. When would you get back to me? Like, how long do you need? And then he's like,
Okay.
"Oh, a few hours a day." Like, what are you going to do in that time?
Mm.
I'm going to look at my bank. I mean, with all due respect, man, do you not have online banking? Yeah, I do. Okay, so just pull it up now and let's talk about it. Like, what can you
Yeah.
really need to go and look at?
Yeah, you're right. I should have like challenged him on that.
Yeah, like you're being too easy on him.
Everything.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, just to check if I've, done my job correctly. Like, why do you think that is?
Why that this program could get me to that goal? I think just the detail and also the I definitely like your mindset approach to it as well. Like a lot of coaches focus on do these workouts, do eat this, but they don't really focus on or talk about really that mindset because I feel like that's the most important thing when it comes to working out and just changing your body. And yeah, just also the approach, just it feels very sustainable. You don't sacrifice like food, which is like something that a lot of people quit working out or quit a program because they can't handle the deficit of food or whatever. So yeah, I just think it's overall like really sustainable and also very smart in terms of keeping your mindset motivated and active.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, yeah, thank you for saying that, bro. Thank you. And so is this sort of like this decision to sort of like think about it, is it more so to do with like the financial logistics side of things, or is it more so to do with like my ability?
So instead, right, when somebody says that your program's perfect, it's everything that I need and it's going to get me to where I want to be, what I'd say is okay, that makes sense. But let me ask you, if it's going to get you to everything you need, like, what do you need to go away and think about?
Mm. Yeah, just to challenge him further on the fact that
Not even challenging, it's trying to understand what his actual objection is, because I don't really get it. Like, I don't know what his objection is. I guess it's think about it, but like, I don't know.
yeah.
to get you to that point.
I think definitely more the investment, like that side of it.
Okay.
It's a big like investment. I would need to fully kind of like break it down just to make sure that I'm fully like that's fully worth it, like fully invest in this amount of money into our program. So I'd say yeah, definitely more that side of it. But I mean, in terms of you,
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that it would be able to transform.
Really worth it? What do you mean? What would make it worth it? I don't know. Well, I mean, how much would you, let's say I could clip my fingers right now and get you into the shape that you've always wanted in the next 3 months. How much would you pay for that? Or anything, really? But not £2,000?
Yeah, I bring that up later, but I think
You
the
need
moment was
while the
gone.
iron's hot, right? You need to do it while
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
objections is very much like a game of table tennis, right? Everything they say, you got to hit it back.
Okay.
There's no point swinging when they hit that ball about 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
My body for sure.
Thank you, brother. Like, I really appreciate that. And like going back to what you said, yeah, like it is a big financial investment. Like, I'd be worried if you thought this wasn't a big financial investment, right? But it's sort of interesting. Like, when you say that, like, what are you sort of comparing that to, like, this financial investment? Like, what do you sort of mean by that?
You mean like what do you mean? Like what exactly?
So, like,
Why did that not make sense?
I was being retarded with my language.
No, that wouldn't be what I'd say. It's because he's not saying that it's like super expensive, right? Like he's not saying like, oh, it's a hell of a lot of money. Like that's not his objection, right? His objection is the value. I don't think he values the gap between where he wants to get to and where he is at £2,000. That's the problem.
Okay.
Like this guy's problem
Yeah.
isn't that he's like, whoa, that's way too much money. Like that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is like, I think I could probably get there myself instead of spending 2K. That's where your
Yeah.
issue. So you've went down the wrong route here is half the problem.
Okay. So isolate the correct objection.
Yes.
what sort of makes you say that it's a big financial investment?
I mean, I think just because you are investing in, like, it kind of makes you question the investment because you're investing in yourself. Like you're investing also in something that you can potentially do like yourself if you really wanted to. So it kind of makes you question and think about, is it really worth it? Because yeah, I mean, personally for me, investing, and I've had like a coach in the past, like back home for a small time. But yeah, it just kind of makes you question about or second guess, is this investment really worth it? Is it with all the stuff that it brings? Because yeah, like I said, it is a big investment, but it's also an investment for your future and for improving yourself and changing your body and life.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, you know, I totally agree with you. I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
If you'd allow me to, like, can I sort of challenge you on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
So, like, you sort of said that this can be something that you sort of do yourself, right? But as we talked about and as we mentioned before, like, you know, you've had this opportunity for like 5 years now, you know, ever since COVID. And so, like, is it really a case of where you think you can do it yourself?
Yeah, but over the past few weeks, I've been making progress. I've been losing weight. I've been getting closer. And because we never smoked that belief earlier, he can say that, and there isn't really too much we can say. So, like, from here, it's going to be almost impossible to take 2Gs off this guy.
Yeah.
So like the objections here are all caused by this, are all caused by your discovery, right? Like, so all of the issues in this entire call stem from right here.
And would you say it's not calling him out on his disparities, on like his inconsistencies with like what he's saying?
Yeah, like the reason that this guy gave you all those objections is because we never really challenged him on his way of thinking. And we also
Okay.
never challenged him on the actual truth of the matter, which is he's not getting in the shape that he wants to, and he's not doing everything he needs to get there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
There you go, bro. That was good. That was a useful one to